much farther to the right.
Well, I'd like to ask Melissa Harris-Lacewell, precisely the Obama campaign from the beginning has represented this viewpoint that America could unite and move beyond race and class divisions, beyond the bitter political divisions that have separated Americans in the past. But now we have this reality that no matter how much he espoused moving beyond race, racial contradictions have become a centerpiece now of this campaign, and to some degree his pastor has helped to keep that now in the public eye. Your response to how this whole controversy, in essence, is disproving Obama's original premise?
Well, I need to disagree with many of the things that my colleague has said. I do agree with Adolph's points about, I mean, how could one disagree? They're historical facts about the difficulties that African Americans have had in winning statewide office and obviously the possibility of the American presidency. But I think that's precisely why it was so important for Senator Obama to talk about his religious faith. I mean, after all, there had to be some reason that he believed in the possibility of America being a different place. I actually don't think it's a matter of parading around and pretending that he has the capacity to bring together different groups of people. He has built a national, multiracial, intergenerational coalition of men and women, working class and wealthy people. That is what has happened, whereas the other two candidates, John McCain and Hillary Rodham Clinton, have mostly built largely, vastly, predominantly white coalitions, and yet they're not having to answer questions on race. So I think that, in fact, Barack Obama's campaign demonstrates in its capacity to pull voters from New York to Oregon, to Philadelphia, the very capacity of black and white and brown Americans to come together. I also think that when Barack Obama began this process and had to talk about why would he have the audacity of hope to believe that it was possible in this moment to bring together this coalition, regardless of what looked like a bitterly partisan, divided country, he had to talk about his faith in God, because it is exactly that which I think Jeremiah Wright was leaning towards in his best moments as a minister, is to say that the amazing thing about Black America has been that African Americans could look out into a world as enslaved people, as Jim Crowed people, as people who saw no empirical evidence that God in fact loved them, and believe anyway that God loved them, that they had a right to be citizens in this country. There is never a moment on questions of race in America where things are better before they get better. We always have to walk through the difficult process. That was true in the Montgomery bus boycott. It is true in the Barack Obama campaign. I hate watching this happen. I know that this is about race. Yet I also know if you're going to be the first black president of the United States, whether it's Barack Obama or some other person later on, you are going to have to learn to govern in the context of racial storms. It is never going to happen that the media and the rest of the country is all going to stand up and give you a standing ovation. Good job for getting past race. You're going to have to walk through race to be on the other side of it. So I actually think the connection of race and religion are fundamental to how African Americans have the hope to engage in American politics.
Adolph Reed, you've been critical of the progressive credentials of Senator Obama and of everything from his community organizing experience to some of his political views. Could you explain your views on that?
Well, I mean, let me say a couple of things. I mean, one is, I don't think that what Obama, I tend much more to Doug Henwood's view that what Obama has put together is not so much a coalition as a fan club, right? I mean, you don't build a movement around a political campaign. I know I've heard people say that, Kool-Aid drinkers have said that, this could be, he could set in motion forces like those that moved FDR in a progressive direction, those that moved JFK in a progressive direction. But as Will Jones, historian at the University of Wisconsin, has pointed out, that comparison fails because in each of those cases there were dynamic, rooted social movements that had been pushing for progressive agendas with popular bases on the ground prior to the election of the president. You can't compare. Frankly, I think the comparison of the Obama coalition to either the Montgomery bus boycott or the Greensboro sit-ins or the Gastonia textile strike is just fall completely flat because this is a candidate-centered politics. I think it's also the case that, well, I mean, the connection of race and religion, I think also very much disturbs me. I mean, there's no intrinsic Black American religious experience. I think there are a lot of us who don't have any religion whatsoever and don't really care about it, and don't especially want to see it in public life. And I think that's